James now drives, spins, goes inside, jump shot, got it.
If I had told you before the season began that the Denver Nuggets would reach the NBA Finals by outlasting Kevin Durant and mopping the floor with LeBron James, you would have called me by every name in the book. But lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. The Nuggets had a shot at an NBA title for the first time in 47 years, and that was possible by outplaying two of this generation's best. It took 3,787 regular season games and 29 playoff appearances, plus countless tinkering of uniform designs and color schemes. With mixed results, I may add. The stars finally aligned for Denver, and even though they had their work cut out for them, it looked like they had a clear roadmap for the turbulence ahead. So how did the Nuggets pull off possibly the biggest Cinderella story in years? It's actually not complicated. Denver played possum all this time. They spent the season reacclimating Jamal Murray into the scheme of things while letting teams think that they could take advantage of Nikola Jokic on defense when it mattered. In short, they put the league to sleep and stole everyone's cookies while they were dozing off. Okay, that's not exactly what happened, but you get the idea. The Nuggets' supposed defensive issues were an open secret, the same way everybody knew what Hugh Hefner had been doing in the mansion. The Ringer even made a whole podcast detailing how the Nuggets' defense could fail them in the postseason. So these experts obviously don't have enough faith that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Bruce Brown, and Aaron Gordon can move the needle defensively and help out Jokic. As it were, the Nuggets fooled the league and everything went according to plan. Even their record, despite being the first seed, doesn't inspire confidence. They lost 5 of their last 7, one by 19 to the Pelicans and another by 21 to the cellar-dwelling Rockets. By the time the playoffs came, Mike Malone and the Nuggets, like mad scientists, now had a chance to show what they were doing in the lab. Denver was assigned to face the number 8 seed Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the 2023 playoffs, and sent them packing in 5 games. The Wolves won Game 4 thanks to a strong showing from Anthony Edwards, but that would be their only test. The Nuggets won the series 4-1, averaging 114.2 points per game while allowing only 105.4 points to the Wolves. For the Western Conference semis, Denver went against the Phoenix Suns. The Suns arrived fresh on the heels off their late-season acquisition of Kevin Durant, with him and Devin Booker set to pose a hard challenge for the Nuggets. The Nuggets dominated Phoenix in Games 1 and 2 of the series in Colorado, which was expected. When the series moved to Arizona, the Suns were more successful, winning Games 3 and 4 to knot things up as Booker and Durant both went into lethal scoring mode. Nonetheless, Denver turned up the heat in the following 2 games, dominating in Game 6 to seal a 4-2 series victory. The Nuggets won all 4 of their games against the Suns by double digits. After beating the Suns, Denver advanced to the Western Conference Finals for the 5th time in club history to face the Los Angeles Lakers. The Nuggets have fallen to the Lakers 3 times before in this setting before, so they have massive chips on their shoulders facing the purple and gold this time around. It was a competitive struggle, but Denver got the best of the Lakers in crunch time every game behind Jamal Murray's timely shot-making ability, paired with Nikola Jokic's rebounding and facilitating. The duo made perfect plays at the perfect times to hand a 4-0 sweep to the Lakers, which frustrated LeBron so much he thought about retiring. At this stage, the Nuggets are playing the best basketball when it matters the most. They lead the postseason in offensive rating, net rating, assist-to-turnover ratio, and three-point percentage, while being 3rd in assists and 2nd in true shooting percentage. Look up the most important metrics you can think of, and Denver is probably in the thick of things. With all due respect to Jimmy Butler or Jason Tatum, if a team has the 2 best players in the postseason, beating them is a tall task. The Joker just eclipsed Wilt Chamberlain's record for the most triple-doubles in a single postseason with at least 4 games to spare. There's a reason why that record stood since the 60s. nobody with this skill set was even born yet. The guy messed around and came within 0.2 assists of averaging a triple-double in the regular season, and was doing even more damage in the playoffs to the tune of 29.9 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 10.3 assists. To put that in perspective, only 4 players have done this before. Russell Westbrook did it twice, but both times his teams were done by the first round. Jason Kidd managed to pull this off in 2007 for 12 games, while the great Oscar Robertson did it in 1962 on a 4-game sample. Jokic did it through 15 games and more to come. He is in the top 3 in total points and rebounds this season, while leading the way in assists by a mile. If Joker dishes at least 40 dimes in the upcoming finals series, he will firmly be in the top 10 for most assists in a single NBA playoff run, a list with only 3 names on it: Magic Johnson, Rajon Rondo, and John Stockton. You heard it right. This Jokic guy just broke the NBA's long-standing postseason triple-doubles record and is about to crack the exclusive list supposed to be reserved for point guards, and is currently number 7 all-time in points per game in the playoffs among players with at least 60 playoff games. But if you think that's ridiculous, you haven't heard about Jamal Murray yet. As incredible as the 2-time MVP is, Jokic has shown he is human. Denver's first-round exit in the 2022 playoffs was the latest proof he needs someone who can play the sidekick role to perfection, which means someone who can ease the pressure and take over offensively when needed. Think Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal circa 2001. An encore of Murray's 2020 bubble run would have been splendid, but the sharpshooting guard out of Kentucky had other plans. Why not be better than Bubble Jamal? While the 2020 playoffs version of Murray has already achieved Loch Ness Monster status, many also question its legitimacy for obvious reasons. We saw the monster rear its ugly head, but was that all smoke and mirrors? If this year's postseason isn't an answer enough to the critics, I don't know what will be. Murray didn't have a couple of 50-point explosions as what happened in Orlando, but he was more consistent, in control, and defensively engaged. Jamal never had a negative plus-minus in the last 10 games and missed only 5 free throws in 67 attempts. When Denver needed a shot to keep the Lakers at bay, it seemed like Murray hit everything, with the current shot more ridiculous than the last. I mean, how do you explain this? Or this? When the smoke cleared in the Western Conference Finals, Murray came out of the Lakers' rubble, averaging 32.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 2.8 steals on a 53-40-95 shooting splits. It's highly unlikely that Murray finishes this whole playoff run that way, but there is currently no other player in NBA history who pulled off a 50-40-90 in the playoffs other than Kevin Durant in 2019. Jamal did it in one series, but against a Lakers team ranked 4th in defensive rating in the postseason. That's an incredible accomplishment. I mean, that's how my numbers would look like if I play in a U10 league, and even that isn't a guarantee. The Nuggets had a long wait heading into the 2023 NBA Finals, and with a marathon season almost coming to a close, that seemed like a luxury. Murray himself should benefit from a layoff after recuperating for almost 2 years following an ACL tear. But the job is not yet done. The Nuggets have waited forever for this opportunity, and it should feel like a quick trip to the restroom. They have been the best team in the playoffs thus far, and if they can maintain that momentum for one more round, the path to the championship will go through Denver.